Welcome back to Autism at Home, brought to you by us at Early Autism Project Malaysia through our non-profit initiative, The Hope Project. My name is Joshabeth Isaacs and I'm so excited to welcome you to our 24th series entitled Functional Communication. Now, we've already gone through a basic introduction on the importance of functional communication, signs and gestures, as well as the picture exchange communication system and communicating using devices. And so this fifth lesson is going to be about visuals in the home. Now, when it comes to verbal speech, it's always there with you. You don't have to reach for anything or grab up anything. You just open your mouth and the words come out. However, for many children on the autism spectrum, verbal communication can be very effortful. And research actually says about 30% of individuals will remain non-verbal. Therefore, it is essential that we are able to provide our kiddos with a mode of communication that is functional and easily accessible, similar to our voice box. And so when it comes to PACS and communicating using devices, there will be potentially moments where we misplace the textbook, or perhaps our device has run out of battery, and so a child is not able to communicate immediately in that moment. And so we often implement location-based visuals, which essentially means that key communication visuals are placed strategically at the location where the item a child may grab on their own is located. Let's start with an easy example: food. We can easily put a food choice board with a few options of your child's favorite food on the fridge or pantry cupboard. The essentials such as water, milk, bread or rice, fruit or a snack. The point of the visual choice board is to provide accessible opportunities for a child to communicate using the visuals. And the logic of putting it right where the food is to make the association so much easier for your child. A quick tip though is that we learn in phase 1 of the PACS program is to only have one picture out initially. And so in this case, we're assuming that a child is able to discriminate a few pictures and will still need to have the prerequisite skills of matching, scanning programs, as well as PACS phase 3 picture discrimination will be very helpful. Also, use a child's favorite food that he or she is most likely to want. Then another common location-based visual is right outside the toilet. Parents and teachers, we all want our kiddos to be able to communicate for the toilet. And through habit training, a child could learn to pick up the visual of the toilet and give it to an adult before entering the toilet. Again, hopefully making it much easier for the child to pair the association of the toilet visual and going to the toilet. And most importantly, many of our kiddos may head out the front door if they see the opportunity arise. Why, we wonder? And would it be accurate to call this running away? Or would it be more accurate to call this wandering, where a child didn't intentionally plot to leave their home, as in the case of a true runaway, but more perhaps they saw the door open, they felt a bit hungry, they thought, maybe I can just go make my way to the closest McD's or KFC. This is a true story, by the way, and has actually happened quite a few times with different children for different reasons. Usually, it's to find a favorite restaurant, usually it's to go to a preferred play area, or even the swimming pool, or maybe even leaving a play gym in a crowded shopping mall to go and find their parents. And so a location-based visual would be ideal to be at the front door. In general though, please do keep your front doors locked and your keys kept away to avoid any unwanted situations of wandering, which can be extremely dangerous for your child. A few key locations such as the favorite mall, restaurants, the swimming pool, the park, and even the grandparents' home may be options of what to place on that visual board. Remember again the most motivating locations and the fewer options, because your child will need to be able to recognize the different pictures. Another location-based visual would be a play choice board. This would actually be very helpful for parents and teachers, as well as to give you some play ideas after a long day. Again, it would be a few favorite play choices of your child, perhaps 4 to 6 initially. You could even start with just 2, and essentially having it available in the playroom where you could guide your child to choose a picture of the play activity they want to play, give it to you. It's very, very similar to PACS phase 1. And then the reinforcement would be that you then give them the play activity and maybe even play together for a few minutes. Now, it won't be sufficient to have the location-based visuals available without providing some teaching opportunities. And a child will need to learn how to use this with the help of some prompting and perhaps a lot of practice. When it comes to the food choice board, you could practice this every mealtime, which is potentially 3 to 5 times a day. If we include breakfast, lunch, dinner, a morning snack, maybe afternoon tea, you could say something along the lines of, "It's time to eat," or "It's snack time." And if there's a choice, you could say, "Should we have chips or bread?" And if your child is able to pick the visual directly, that's great. But if your child hasn't learned that yet, you could hold the actual food options with the food choice board next to you. And as your child reaches for the food, you could say chips and point and pick up the visual from the food choice board. You could then use this as an opportunity to do a number of PACT's Phase 1 trials with just the chips visual as you are feeding your child that snack. You could do the same technique when it comes to play choice board visuals as well. Let's see this for practicing initiating for the toilet as well. And lastly, for going out. Now this may be a bit trickier in terms of frequency of opportunities to practice, but you could model picking up the visual of where you are going as you are leaving the house. And so now it's your turn. Of the 4 location-based visuals we just discussed today, which one do you think you would like to implement first and why? We would certainly recommend to start with the one that is most important to your family, but also considering one that is most motivating for your child. Is it going to be the food choice board, toileting visual, going out choice board, or the play choice board? You go ahead and create your own visuals, and then you can place them in the locations in your home and start to practice. Hey, do share a clip with us if you can. We would love to follow your journey of functional communication with your child. Well, that's about it from us about visuals at home. Why don't you try it out and comment below if it works, or if you have any other suggestions that we can learn from you. And even if you do get stuck, we are just a call away. We can also almost hear some of you parents out there crying out for help. What if my child keeps asking to eat cookies all the time? Or what if they keep asking to go to the swimming pool and we just can't go right now? Well, this is a true story. And just like verbal speech, once a child starts to discover the power of communication, some may start to badger, "I want cookie, I want cookie, I want cookie, I want cookie, 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 cookie." And so in the next lesson, we will be talking all about functional communication to your child. Because communication has to be a two-way street, bi-directional communication. And so we will need to learn to communicate to our children in a way that they understand. We will see you in lesson 6. Thank you very much for your support. And with the amount of interest we have received online, we've actually started providing online services, and I've worked with clients in other states of Malaysia, as well as other countries such as New Zealand, Philippines, Singapore, Switzerland, Indonesia, China, and Brunei. So do get in touch with us for more information by scanning this QR code. If you haven't already, do check out our online resource platform, Autism at Home, which has all the lesson videos, corresponding articles, and downloadables available for you for free. Stay updated through our social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And do click on the subscribe and follow buttons to get more information. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon.